Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Saturday, September 11th. September 11th, we just had the ceremonies here in New York. I'm sure if you're old enough to remember that, no matter where you were, it's still a vivid memory in your mind. I was down here on that day, woke up early, and saw the initial news report of a plane having crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. I mean, I looked at that hole and I'm thinking, wow, what kind of plane hit that thing? That didn't look like a small plane, but at first, the first reports, like nobody really knew what was going on and they thought it might have been an accident. I actually had an appointment down in Wall Street that day. Subways were still running, unbelievably, and I hopped on the train and headed down. As I was traveling down to Wall Street, the second plane hit. I got out, and literally moments after that second plane hit the South Tower. And I remember coming out of the subway station and then looking up. There was a crowd, people looking up, and just massive flames leaping out of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. And then we kind of all stood around and watched in disbelief, and it wasn't long after that when the South Tower started coming down, and I was just a few blocks away, and that cloud of debris and everything started to shoot up in my direction, and we all started running. And I remember just like everybody was in disbelief. I got up to, I don't know, might have been a little past Canal Street. If you're familiar with Manhattan, I walked north, like in the crowd, a lot of people walking north, and I just got past Canal Street. I remember going into a bank and thinking I better withdraw some money. This was a reflex I had from the 1987 stock market crash. When the stock market crashed, I went and I withdrew money thinking, like, you know, we could have a shutdown or a collapse of the financial system. I just needed to have some cash. I went back in. It was almost like a reflex reaction. And in the bank ATM vestibule there was a TV monitor on, and the North Tower started to come down, and then I ran out of that bank and I just turned and looked south, and I saw the North Tower coming down from where I was on Canal Street, or just a little bit up from Canal Street. And then, you know, that was it. I mean, we were all moving north. It was like we were all like zombified, zombies. I remember going to a hospital thinking I'm going to try to give blood to, you know, if there are any injured. And I went to the hospital on the way up to my apartment, and it's like they were just saying, they were turning us away, like nobody has come up here, nobody has come up here. And then I started to realize that there's probably not going to be any survivors, but still very vivid in my memory. I'm sure a lot of you who lived through it, no matter where you were, maybe you saw it on TV or whatever, very vivid in your memory. And it's just a solemn day, a solemn day. And one thing that really bothers me, I have to say, like, you know, it took them a long time to redevelop that Ground Zero, but, you know, I was totally against putting up anything other than the original Twin Towers. I think they should have rebuilt the original Twin Towers. For me, that was so symbolic of the skyline of Manhattan. Of course, you had the iconic Empire State Building, but the Twin Towers, those two powerful symbols standing there. And I used to work there in the commodity exchange for many, many years when I was a trader on the COMEX and the NYMEX. And, you know, they didn't do it. They put up this generic skyscraper, you know, glass aluminum skyscraper, generic. It could be anywhere. I mean, to me, it has no personality. It has no distinction whatsoever. And it was a big mistake that they didn't put up the Twin Towers again. And that would have been like a great, you know, excuse me, but fuck you to the terrorists. We just rebuild it, all right? But they didn't do that. Anyway, it's what it is. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the banking data. Really incredible. How's that for a segue, right? The banking data I just checked out for the week ending September 1st. Another big increase in loans, up 20 billion in the week ending September 1st. Frankly, I'm really impressed by this because if you look back at the last 11 weeks or something like that, we've had a reserve build of about 750 billion. But loans and leases continue to increase. Actually, this last increase was the biggest increase in 5 weeks. Loans have been up for 10 weeks straight for an increase of 130 billion. I mean, again, I just got to say, this is a testament to how well capitalized the banks are, that they've been able to add loans onto their, as part of their assets with this unprecedented amount of reserve increases. It's really been incredible. So that just shows you, I still think bank stocks are among the most undervalued in the entire stock market. I think we're going to be in a long-term bull market for bank stocks, once the jitters get over with the taper and all this other nonsense. So that was really, that was a surprise to me. But it continues a trend that we've been seeing. Banks also picked up a pretty hefty amount of securities, treasury securities, MBS, and trading assets in the week ending September 1st. I don't know if we're going to see a repeat of that when we get the data coming out this Friday. I suspect because we had a 50 billion increase in reserves just last week, and I think that the selling of trading assets by the banks is probably the reason that the stock market was not able to hold any rallies. I talked about that in my last video. Every time the market rallied, boom, it got hit with selling, and we ended up really weak on Friday. But overall, banks look really well capitalized. Their financial position looks excellent, and those are really good stocks. Anyway, it's 9/11. I wanted to make this video and, just commemorating or remembering that day. We're never going to forget. All right, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.